In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Ukraine.
And then they have cans of soup, and they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
An opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good.
Pelosi saying this country needs a strong Republican Party, and we do.
I'll kiss every guy, man and woman, man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa. I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Is it on? Hello? Testing. Testing. Is this thing on? Hello? I don't even know if this... Wait, is it on? Okay, it's on. Hello, users! Wait. Cloud says, what is the context for I'm not up to the job quote? He is at the OTAN summit, and he says, quote, a lot of people think that, and then there's like a really long, like, I don't know, he pauses for like 6 seconds. And then he says that I'm not up to the job. So, and then I don't even know what the fuck the like whoa means. Like that's just, that totally is what. All right. All right. All right. How's everyone doing? All right. What the fuck? I gotta drink more coffee. All right. Everybody give a round of applause for Bob. In the chat, Bob is here. Everybody. Bob is here. Hello? Bob? All right. All right, folks. Let's start today's show.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Now, more than ever, Democrats need Hillary Clinton. By Douglas E. Schoen. The views expressed by contributors are their own and not the view of the Hill. Folks, Hillary 2024, it's happening. I just want everyone to get ready. I want everyone to brace for impact. Put your fucking seatbelts on. Because it's happening. We're getting in. Earlier this year, I co-authored a piece for the Wall Street Journal that argued that a perfect storm in the Democratic Party is making a once unfathomable scenario, a comeback for Hillary Clinton in 2024, highly plausible. Folks, it's happening. The consent is being manufactured. It's happening. Is this article recent? It's from yesterday. Our reasoning was that President Biden's low approval ratings, doubt about his capacity to run again, Vice President Harris's unpopularity, and the absence of another strong Democrat to lead the ticket have created a leadership vacuum within the party that only Clinton, an experienced and politically savvy change candidate, can fill. Change candidate? A change candidate? You know, in 2016, when I think who's going to be the most likely to bring about change, Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton, the answer, Hillary Clinton. In light of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, upending decades of precedent and revoking a constitutional right that many American women have enjoyed for half a century, the case for Clinton's candidacy is even clearer. I don't know why I'm giving this guy like a weird fucking accent, but I'm just having fun with this. Regardless of one's own political affiliation or opinion of Clinton, the country knows her as an experienced... Is that true? What? The country knows her as an experienced politician and a champion of women's rights. What? Do they? I mean, Hillary Clinton didn't support gay women's right to marry each other until 2013. What about gay women? Hillary Clinton comes out every once in a while to remind everyone that trans women don't really count and that we shouldn't really bother wasting our time fighting for trans rights. So what women's rights is she a champion of? What about all the women in Haiti? Am I right, people? I don't know like where they get this shit from, personally. From her declaration at the United Nations in 1995 that women's rights are human rights, to being the first woman nominated by a major party's candidate for president in 2016, she offers the exact type of leadership that the Democratic Party deeply needs. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say I doubt this one. Like, if we want to get a woman to run for president, like, let's draft someone like Katie Porter, AOC. Let's get Cori Bush in there. Fuck it. Like, there's so many better women that could run for president than Hillary goddamn Rodham. Jesus. Whether or not party leaders will admit it, Democrats know they need to move on from Biden if they want to stay in the White House in 2024. That I agree with. So this is the thing about all this that really is the underscoring of all of this Hillary Clinton bullshit. And this is why I like talking about it. Is because literally everybody literally everybody knows. There's a poll I did yesterday. 71% of Americans don't want Biden to run again. That's crazy. That's crazy. Everybody knows Biden is garbage. But, again, Americans, and especially American voters, have no power in this country. You think your vote matters? I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't vote. I think everyone should vote. If everyone did vote, I think our country would be in a little bit of a better shape right now. But, again, there have been polls that say around only 10 to 20% of eligible voters vote in primary elections. Why? Well, because they're fucking stupid. That's why. Americans are fucking stupid. They're dumb motherfuckers, right? So, that being said, Americans don't really get to choose who the parties like to throw at our face. Joe Biden lost the first 3 primaries, and then everyone just was like, oh fuck, oh shit, dropped out and endorsed him at the last minute. Right? That's how he became the nominee. So my question is are the people around Biden strong enough or brave enough to get him to fuck off? I personally don't think so. I don't think we're going to get Biden to fuck off. I really don't. That's my opinion. I think we're going to get stuck with Biden and we're all going to fucking sink in this shit. That's what I think. But, the stakes are too high for Democrats to remain on this slowly sinking ship. I agree. Though I disagree with the conclusion that we got to vote for fucking Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? I agree that we're on a sinking ship. But I disagree that Hillary Clinton is the way to get out. That's not the lifeboat. Democrats are headed for a blowout loss in November, even worse than in 1994 and 2010, the 2 worst midterm election years for the party in recent history, when they lost 53 and 63 seats, respectively, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's true, though. The one thing about the Roe v. Wade decision with Dobbs v. Jackson is that it is making Democrats poll higher for the midterm. So I don't know if it's going to be that kind of loss. I'm hopeful that it's not. I'm hopeful that Democrats can maintain the House and the Senate, but I'm not. I don't feel good about it. I'm not brave, or I'm not. I don't know. I need more coffee, but I'm not feeling that. Biden's approval rating is lower than both Obama's and Clinton's at the time, at the same points in the presidencies, and Americans in 2022 are less satisfied with the direction of the country, more negative about the economy, and disapproving of Congress. Polls generally show Republicans with a lead of at least 2 to 3 points in 2020 generic vote for Congress. Now, again, a lot of those polls before the Roe v. Wade overturning, my opinion, it does change the game. So it is possible that I think Democrats could hold on. Unlikely, though. As Barack Obama said in the summer of 2020, quote, "Do not underestimate Joe Biden's ability to fuck things up." That's a quote from Barack Obama in the summer of 2020. Polls generally show blah, blah, blah. With Biden, while Biden was the right person to defeat former President Donald Trump in 2020, he is clearly, I disagree with that. I personally disagree with that. He is clearly not the right person to lead the Democratic Party going forward, as only 36% of Democrats believe Biden gives them the best chance to win the presidency in 2024. Personally, I believe Biden had just as much of fluke chances in 2020. It's just that everyone was too scared to do anything interesting about it. And they were like, please, daddy, where's my daddy? And they just, for whatever reason, viewed Joe Biden as their daddy. But again, only 10 to 20% of Americans even vote in primary elections because this fucking country sucks. Is this the Hill article? Yes, it is. The Hill, more like the Hillary, am I right? To be sure, Democrats' confidence in Biden will only decline further after the party experiences a shellacking in the midterm elections. At that point, Clinton will have a unique opportunity to position herself as an experienced candidate capable of leading Democrats. I don't know, man. I would rather throw the dice with Hillary Clinton than Kamala Harris, I think. But other than that, I would say almost every other woman in the Democratic Party is probably better suited to run. I would say Kamala Harris, uniquely horrible as a politician and as a potential candidate, garbage can. shit on my shoes. That is not going to happen. So if you're telling me it's Kamala versus Hillary, I might go for Hillary, but let's be honest. Like if that's what we have to choose from, we're doomed anyway. Let's be real. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. Aside from Clinton, the Democratic Party lacks any other rising stars who could take the torch from Biden. That I agree with. If he chooses not to run and win in a general election, the most natural successor would be Harris. However, Harris is even more unpopular than Biden and would almost guarantee a Republican victory in 2024. That I agree with. I agree with this. I think Kamala Harris is garbage. I think she is trash. You throw her in a general election, oof. Oof. That's going to be looking like the goddamn 1980 election, let me tell you. That's not going to be looking so good. Oof. Ultimately, Clinton is the only prominent Democrat with the experience, I don't know what that means, the campaign infrastructure, and the political know-how, and the proven track record who can win a general election. No. If Democrats want a chance at winning the presidency in 24, Clinton is now more than ever their best chance. No, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. Better than Kamala? Sure. Maybe. That's debatable, and I would love to have that debate. But I don't know, man. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because, again, you're seeing a lot of people do this Hillary Clinton 2024 bullshit. It's popping up everywhere. Personally, I think this is the reverse Pied Piper strategy. In the same way that Hillary Clinton wanted Donald Trump to be the nominee because that campaign thought that Trump would be the easiest to run against. I think there's a lot of rich motherfuckers that are putting a lot of money in these people's pockets to promote and advertise the idea that Hillary Clinton should run in 2024. One, to fracture the Democratic Party away from supporting Biden, which is already, that's all, it's already happening, right? So, but two, to manufacture consent for someone who's a known loser. That's my prediction. That's how I think this is going to go down. That being said, I do think Hillary Clinton would be a better candidate than Kamala Harris. I do. I genuinely do. I think that. But that is more to say about Kamala Harris being garbage than anything else. But Harris is not as bad as that interview indicates. Which interview? Because she's bad in every interview that I've ever seen. Every time I see her do any public speaking event, it's horrible. She isn't given anything to work with by the Biden team. Well, I mean, that's one. As a politician, you should be good at bullshitting. Right? So, if literally every single interview, you can't even bullshit and you look like an idiot, you're probably not a good politician. But also, I do think it's hilarious that the Biden administration is just fucking over Kamala Harris so badly. I think that's hilarious. Donald James, who do you think would get the older black vote, Hillary or Bernie? Historically speaking, probably Hillary. But also, I mean, again, this is like, what, 16 to 24? That's 8 years. So, I mean, maybe some of the really old people that voted for Hillary in 2016 died off by now. That's my own. We can hope to fucking God, right? So, 8 years kills a lot of old people. So, that's my hope and pray that if we did see that scenario again, that demographic-wise, the people that died off would be more likely to vote for Hillary. That's my hope. But yeah, again, only 10 to 20% of Americans vote in primary elections. That's crazy. That's crazy fucking shit. Hillary and Bernie running together, that, I would be into that. That would be really cool. That would be super cool. Genuinely though, I would be into that because it would be like the literal unity ticket But like the unity with liberals and leftists, in my opinion, I think that could win against a DeSantis or like a Trump bullshit. As much as I hate Hillary, you know, I understand Hillary Clinton's garbage, right? But you have to understand who is more prone to emotional thinking, a liberal or a leftist? Liberals think that like Bernie Sanders is like the cause of the Supreme Court being like all fucked up, right? Liberals are crazy. They're crazy motherfuckers, right? So if Hillary Clinton came out there and united the liberal and left demographics, again, it's like waving a treat in front of a dog, you know, like liberals are just fucking stupid. They're barely even human beings, right? So they're more prone to emotional thinking, and therefore I'm down to take advantage of that. But yeah, that would never happen. But it is a good fan fiction. Yeah, literally, it's one of the like blaming Bernie Sanders for everything that's ever happened is the same thing as blaming like Hunter Biden for like everything. Like the same people obsessed with Hunter Biden's laptop are the same people that think like Susan Sarandon is like the cause of the downfall of democracy. Like we're talking about dumbass motherfuckers, have an IQ probably in the single digits, maybe in the teens if they're lucky, right? If they had some medical treatments or some medication, maybe they're doing mushrooms or something, right? Maybe they'll have like a 15-point IQ. But these are really stupid motherfuckers. Really stupid motherfuckers. So yeah, in my opinion, anyone who blames Bernie for everything or whatever, like, they're dumber than dog shit. Like, they're as stupid as any conservative. They're just not they're not interacting with reality. It's just that simple. I don't know who Hal Sparks is, but they sound like an idiot. All right, this clip was making the rounds on Twitter.com, and I'm going to give this a play. This is the Health and Human Services SEC, Xavier Becerra, on Meet the Press, talking about the Supreme Court. And we can be under the impression that this is like a little bit of a proxy for what the Biden administration's official stance is. I want to play this, and then we'll discuss.
You've been spending some days finding and trying to find new avenues. Is there any avenue you found that can actually expand abortion rights in places that it's going to be taken away?
Chuck, if you look at our laws and the way we administer them, when the Supreme Court speaks, unless we're all going to say that the word of the Supreme Court will no longer have value, we have to heed the word of the Supreme Court.
So, I mean, that's the thing about this, like, talking point that's crazy, is that, like, if you think to yourself, who are the most popular presidents in American history? Now, some people would say George Washington, but that doesn't count. He's the first president, right? So that doesn't count. So you ask yourself, who are the most popular presidents in American history? Lincoln, FDR. Both of them literally did that. They literally said, yeah, what the Supreme Court's saying, fuck it, I don't care. The Supreme Court said that black people aren't, or black, I guess, creatures, I don't know what the fuck, aren't people and they'll never be people. Lincoln was like, fuck that. Emancipation Proclamation, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Right? FDR also, during FDR's terms, right, the Supreme Court was like, Social Security, nah, not gonna happen, unconstitutional. FDR was like, no, it is constitutional and you're gonna shut the fuck up. And what did they do? They shut the fuck up. Remind me, are black people still in slavery? Last time I checked, I mean, look at the prisons in this country. But, typically, as we're taught in school, right, black people are not enslaved in the same way that they were in the 19th century. And last time I checked, ask your grandma, they might be getting a Social Security check. So if the Supreme Court is able to say black human beings are not people, and yet now they are, right? And the Supreme Court's able to say Social Security is unconstitutional, and now Social Security is happening everywhere. What happened, right? Those presidents basically said, go fuck yourself. That decision fucking sucks. Fuck you. That's what and they are the most popular presidents in American history. I don't know what to say. Biden, there were all these articles floating around during the 2020 election and during the inauguration month of 2021 and the month after that, where is Biden the new FDR? Is Biden the new FDR? Biden could have been the new FDR. Biden could have been the third most popular president in American history if he wanted to. He had all the unique crises. He could have ended the pandemic. Instead, he chose to cover it up. He could have fought back against corporate price gouging and inflation. Instead, he just chose to blame it all on stimulus checks, right? He could have, invoked the 14th Amendment, Section 3, gotten rid of these stupid insurrectionist Republicans. Instead, he said maybe the fever will break. So every step of the way, Joe Biden has failed. He's a failure. He's a loser. It's just plain and simple. He's a loser, right? And so what should Joe Biden do right now? What Joe Biden should do is say, fuck that Supreme Court. We're going to pack that bitch. That's it. That's all you need to do.
And so we will continue to find every avenue possible to make sure women have access to the care that they need, including abortion care.
Let's talk about...
That's the fucking, we will do everything possible? Like what? Everything possible? Like what? What do you do? We're going to do everything possible. Oh, what are you going to do? Everything possible. Well, what's possible? Everything possible. Well, what is on that list? Everything. Possible. What? It doesn't mean anything. You might as well be saying, you're going to fucking do jumping jacks to fucking give people access to abortion care. What's that going to do? I don't know, but it's more specific than everything possible.
One of the proposals that was out there that got shot down pretty quickly, it was something that a couple of Democrats called for, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which is maybe temporary clinics on federal land. Fight it in the court, let the courts say no and instead try it. Did you guys look into this at all?
I think we're continuing to explore everything that's out there. The difficulty is that simply because it's an idea doesn't mean it can go out into practice.
I'm telling y'all, these people, these are the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth. I mean, I'm serious with you. The Biden administration is chock full of the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth. So he's asked the question, why don't you just do it and let the courts fight it out? But while the courts are fighting it out, you'd be doing something brave and noble for people that need help, and that would help people, and that would show people that, hey, maybe Democrats are fucking serious. Instead, let's play this again. This is legend. This is Kamala Harris tier garbage.
I think we're continuing to explore everything that's out there.
So we're going to do everything possible. Oh, what about doing this? I think we're going to continue to explore everything that's out there. Oh, you're going out there? Out where? And you're going to explore it? What? Are we playing Minecraft, motherfucker? What are you talking about? Like people's lives are in the balance.
The difficulty is that simply because it's an idea doesn't mean it can go out into practice. And so what we want to make sure is we can put things out into practice, because you have people who are right now in need of abortion care services. So we're going to do what we can to give.
Okay, so just because it's an idea doesn't mean you can put it into practice. That I agree with. But again, the idea, in this case, is to build abortion clinics on federal land. It's federal land. It's federal land, motherfucker. We didn't suggest launching a spaceship into an asteroid and bringing down the asteroid onto planet Earth to mine its fucking, like, you know, precious metal deposits, and then use that to pay for people's travel to go to California to get an abortion. We didn't say that. That would be a stupid fucking idea that would be out there. That doesn't mean it should be implemented. But this is a pretty basic fucking idea. And also, alright, you say no, great. Come up with another alternative.
Give people something as quickly as we can. Even if it may not be everything they like, we want to make sure we're providing everything we can.
Again, everything they can. And there's also, like, everything that they like. Like, I'm going to play this part again.
In need of abortion care services. So we're going to do what we can to give people something as quickly as we can. Even if it may not be everything they like.
Everything they like. As if it's like, oh, I want to go to Toys R Us. Does Toys R Us still exist anymore? I don't know. I want to go to Toys R Us and get some fucking, you know, trading cards and some fucking, like, Beanie Babies. Like, no. This isn't a like. Oh, I want to go, you know, look at the TV guide or whatever and see what's on television to see if my favorite show is going to be on tonight. This isn't like, you know, oh, I'm going to do the Twilight Zone 4th of July marathon. Like, oh, that's like... No, this isn't about liking things, motherfucker. This is about providing people healthcare that they fucking need to live. This isn't about, like, oh, what do you like? What kind of music do you like? What kind of movies do you like? No. This is about, like, oh, are you able to go to a doctor? Yes. You live? No. You die. It's that simple. These motherfuckers, man, they're dumb as hell. Again, Biden's clown car cabinet, dumb as fuck. They're so fucking stupid. They're useless. Stupid fucking morons. All of them. Stupid, useless fucking morons. Fuck. It's that simple. Xavier fucking Sarah, go fuck yourself? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna turn my AC on real quick. All right. Bring on the cold. I am ready. These motherfuckers, man, I tell you what. It's 30 fucking 1 degrees in this bitch. Can you believe that shit? Maybe tomorrow, Mila. All right, I want to look at some videos from this thread. So, in Akron, Ohio, there was a police murder. Jayland Walker, I believe their name was shot by police approximately 90 times. And body camera footage was released yesterday, I believe. And there have been protests going on in the area. And I've got this Twitter thread from a reporter in the area that I want to scan through because it shows some very interesting materials. So as you can see, there were mass protests, people in cars driving to the police station. The police station, as you could see, was putting up Christmas lights. I want to be very honest with y'all. Like, this fucking shit is, like, literally terrifying. Like, it's like when you walk up to the fucking cop station, they might as well be putting, like, swastika neo-Nazi flags, like, out the windows. It's very much so the same thing. Right? So, again, let's timeline here. Police shoot someone 90 times and then arrest their corpse after they were gunned down 90 times. They arrest their corpse by putting handcuffs on the corpse. That's fucking insane. Right? Like, there was some motherfucker that was literally flopping around a dead body to put handcuffs on a dead body. Right? They released the body camera footage. People show up to protest, and then they put out their neo-Nazi iconography. And then, I want to scroll forward here in this. Then the riot police come out. And it seems to me that riot police were not fucking around in Akron, Ohio. They were using tear gas. I saw some other clips that a lot of people were getting arrested. Now, again, I want to ask you a question. How much money do you think these police stations waste on, 1, equipment, 2, overtime pay for all the police in the whole county to come out and beat the shit out of black people for fun? That costs a lot of money. You pay them overtime. Right? And now imagine a world where the money that was wasted on that just immediately was spent on the victim's family. When I was doing a protest movement in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, I was under the impression, based on what the city and county treasury was saying, that they had spent well over $1 million funding the riot cops' response, overtime pay, right? Like busing in police from out of the county, out of the city. They spent over $1 million on a small town of 18,000 people in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, after Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed. Now, I don't know the population of Akron, Ohio, but I imagine that if they're going to spend $1 million to bring out riot cops to beat the shit out of, like, old people in a city where no one lives in North Carolina, I imagine Ohio, if they have more people in Akron, it's just going to be scaled upward. So, again, I don't understand. I really just don't get why the reaction from police is always to be violent. Okay, so, again, domino effect. Someone is shot 90 times and someone puts handcuffs on their corpse. That is violence. That is violence. That is a violent act. That is extremely violent. So why is it that when protesters don't do anything violent, they just say, hey, that's fucked up, the cops come out and beat the shit out of protesters? It really does. Like, again, the state has a monopoly on violence. They can basically do whatever they want. And they can beat the shit out of you and get away with it. No one will even know who they are. They can, and now again, I also want to point out the more depraved angle of this, like I was mentioning, overtime pay. Cops love overtime pay. There's an incentive structure built into this. So, 1, the people that murder other people on the job, they get a paid vacation. I want everyone to understand how the system works and why this happens. 1,000 plus people die every year from police. So when you kill someone, you get a paid vacation. You get to go home, sit on your ass for a couple weeks, and you get paid for it. Then all your buddies in the department, as well as any department in like a tri-county area. Like, again, when I was in North Carolina, Elizabeth City is on the eastern seaboard of North Carolina. We were having motherfuckers from the border of Tennessee driving over for overtime pay. Sweet, sweet overtime pay. Right, so not only you kill someone, great, paid vacation. Everyone in your department And depending on how many people protest, if there's like more than 15 old people, maybe they'll bring in everyone in the whole state. We'll go there, right, like flies on like an apple core that you left out. They will go there for that sweet, sweet overtime pay. That's the incentive structure for police. You get paid vacation to kill people. And then, not only do you get paid vacation, but everyone in your department gets time and a half overtime pay. And that's just how it is. That's how it works in this country. And 98.3% of the time, police do not even get charged with a crime. But as you can see in this video, this reporter, you know, is mainstream news-ish. So they didn't get, you know, too many good shots. But this is what I saw on Twitter. There are clouds of tear gas just in the air. Now, again, what needs to be understood is tear gas is a chemical weapon. It is illegal in the Geneva Conventions for International Warfare, right? It causes extreme bodily harm. Extreme bodily harm. If people breathe this stuff in, it's been known to cause blood circulation issues, nausea. People have been known to have brain fog for upwards of 3 months after exposure to tear gas. This is not, like, it's not like, oh, you're fucking, like, water cannons. I mean, like, I would say water cannons are probably less dangerous in a lot of ways than tear gas, right? Because people are going to get the fuck out, and they're not going, like, you know, I mean, there's examples of them using water cannons on people at the Dakota Access Pipeline protest, and then they got hypothermia. But, you know, again, tear gas causes a lot of bodily harm for a long period of time. And exposure to tear gas, people have had miscarriages after being exposed to tear gas. There were, in the summer of 2020, people that were not even at protests had miscarriages because of exposure to tear gas, because it was leaking into their, like, windows at their apartment buildings. They were at home, and tear gas was so much so in the atmosphere and in the air that it got into their apartment, and it caused them extreme bodily harm. And I read this article a couple of years ago, so maybe you can fact check me. But again, it's extremely insane that they bring out the fucking thugs. Like, these riot cops, again, I want you to understand, these riot cops love doing this. They're not scared at all because they're getting overtime pay. They're getting time and a half. Sometimes they're getting paid 2 times what they would normally make. I remember when I was doing protests in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, I was spying on cops at one point because I love doing that. And I heard cops talking about how, like, oh, I'm up to like 100-something hours this week. So now I'm going to afford to get my kids some fucking stupid shit. I don't know. This was like, their birthday was coming up, I guess. I don't know. But I want you to understand, like, they get paid a fuck ton of money to stand around in like an Iron Man suit and beat the shit out of old people and black people for fun. That is a fucked up incentive structure. And again, if you look back at the domino effect, every step of the way, the person who shot and killed, or the people involved in shooting and killing Jayland Walker, I guarantee you, their paid vacation is coming up very soon. And that's the great thing about they did it really good. 90 shots? Who knows what the kill shots would have been? They're all on the hook. Maybe they're going to go out to Hawaii, live a little with their paid vacation. They're going to be sitting on the beach somewhere in Hawaii as their fucking paycheck cashes, and they can go get drunk with their cop buddies. That's the shit that they do. So when people see an opportunity for a kill, I need you to understand, police in this country are predators. And they kill black people for fun and entertainment. I mean, they kill white people too every once in a while. Right, but typically when they kill white people, maybe they'll have to go through a couple hoops before they get their paid vacation. But police in this country know for a fact that they can kill any black person and get away with it without even being charged. Again, 98.3% of the time, police don't even get charged. Right, and then the whole department can get overtime pay, and they can just fucking suck the city budget dry, and that's just the playbook. That's how they do it. And so I really need people to understand that the police response to this kind of shit is insane, but it's by design. It is purposefully insane. It's not an accident. And of course, solidarity with everyone protesting in Akron. Shit's fucked up. All right, another protest news. The U.S. Supreme Court asks Maryland to bar protests at justices' homes. Now, I want to remind everyone, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled not that long ago that religious fundamentalist psychopath terrorists are allowed to protest outside the homes of abortion doctors, even if they don't even do abortions. If they work at an abortion clinic, and let's say they're a receptionist, you would have religious right-wing terrorists follow them to their houses and protest outside of their houses. And the Supreme Court said, that's all good. But what does the Supreme Court have to say about when people protest outside their houses? We live in a country where the Constitution is so vague and so garbage that the same Constitution can be used to literally come up with the exact opposite conclusions, just depending on the context. You're protesting outside the house of a doctor? Oh, you're good to go. Free speech. You're protesting outside my house? Whoa, bro, what the fuck? That's not free speech, that's terrorism. The U.S. Supreme Court's top security officer has asked Maryland Governor Larry Hogan to enforce laws barring picketing outside Maryland homes of High Court justices. The High Court! The High Court! Saying protests and threatening activity have increased. Oh. About a quarter of the population over the course of June lost significant amounts of rights over bodily autonomy. Republicans are saying that if they take control of the government, the federal government, they will pass a national abortion ban, which would basically turn half of this country into second-class citizens. But, oh no, boo-hoo. Someone was yelling outside of my house with a megaphone. Boo-hoo? Oh no. Supreme Court Marshal Gail Curley made the request in a July 1 letter to Hogan, noting that Maryland law prohibits people from intentionally assembling, quote, in a manner that disrupts a person's right to tranquility in the person's home. First of all, fuck that stupid-ass law. Second of all, it should not apply to public officials. I'm sorry. If you want to legislate from the bench that half of this population loses their rights, I'm sorry. But the least you could do is put up with someone yelling on a megaphone, at the very least. If not, you don't like it, leave. You don't like that shit, bitch? Get the fuck out of this country. We have a First Amendment right to peacefully assemble and express ourselves. It's that simple. Don't like it? Get the fuck out. This is America, bitch. But of course, again, that same Constitution can be misread just depending on, oh, there's sun in my eyes. I guess it's illegal now. Oh, you know, I don't know, man. I just had 3 Mountain Dews. I'm a little buzzed up. Sorry, now it's legal again. Oh, that was someone I don't like. Oh, great. Okay, so now it's legal. Oh, that's someone I do like. Okay, now that's illegal. That's basically what they do. The Supreme Court has no legitimacy. It's a rogue institution. It's that simple. I am writing to request that the Maryland State Police, in conjunction with local authorities, as appropriate, enforce laws prohibiting picketing outside of homes of Supreme Court justices who live in Maryland. Go fuck yourself. Abortion rights activists began protesting outside Maryland homes of Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and the Virginia home of Justice Samuel Alito after the leak in May of a draft opinion. Blah, blah, blah. The court last month issued a final opinion that did just that, Curley reminded the governor that in May he said he was deeply concerned over picketing outside of justices' homes. Deeply concerned? Are they deeply concerned about a quarter of the U.S. population becoming second-class citizens? Nope. Nope. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They just want more livestock. It's that simple. Hogan made the statement in a joint letter with Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin to U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland seeking enforcement of a federal law barring demonstrations intended to sway judges on pending cases. Again, how, like, these fucking pussies have carve-outs after carve-outs after carve-outs for all their shit? But if you're a receptionist at an abortion clinic, people can harass you literally for your entire life until you move. Since then, protest activity at justices' homes as well as threatening activity has only increased, Curley told Hogan, adding the protesters that for weeks used bullhorns, chanted slogans, and banged on drums. Oh no. Let me read that again. This is crazy. In fact, honestly, disregard everything else I said in this video. I didn't know it was this bad. I'm going to be honest. My bad. I didn't read this article before covering it. So now that I know that they were using bullhorns, slogans, and drums, that changes everything. Holy shit. They had drums. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. They had a bullhorn. They chanted slogans. Oh, we gotta lock these fuckers up. That's crazy shit. The letter also noted an attempt on a justice's life. An apparent reference to the arrest last month near Kavanaugh's home of a California man armed with a handgun, a knife, and pepper spray. Didn't he turn himself in, by the way? But anyway, these fucking people are the biggest fucking beta males on planet Earth. So fucking embarrassing. But this is our country. We don't live in a democracy. You could argue that we never have. But it's getting more and more obvious every day that what we live is in a tyrannical, authoritarian, corrupt, getting closer and closer and closer to a dictatorship. The High Court. Fuck the High Court, dude. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing a vibe check. What are the vibes like in this chat room? How are the vibes? I love theocracy. The vibes in general are fucked. I'm trying my best not to be full-on doomer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna end the stream pretty soon here. Not gonna lie, y'all. I got really fucking high yesterday, and I'm still really fucking high, so I'm trying my best here. But, I don't know, man. I mean, it's absolutely a theocratic dictatorship. That's true. It's a factual statement of fact. I'm getting more and more disgust with this country. All right. Yeah, I've had about a cup and a half of coffee, and I am like no more awake than I was like an hour and a half ago. Caffeine pills, I've tried them before. But yeah, folks, I'm gonna try to catch up on my clip editing for today. So get all these juicy fucking news stories posted. But if anyone wants to give me money, it's an option. I am still quote unquote working on the YouTube membership bullshit. I.e., I have made no progress, but I'm still like 70% of the way through, and I haven't made any progress in the last 30%. So, you know. But I'm pretty much out of energy. I used it all up during the show, and now I'm out. My energy tanks are depleted. What does it entail? I don't know. It's like Patreon, but on YouTube. It's just linked to YouTube. I don't know. I'm not good at any of this shit. I'm not good at this. I don't know. Anyway, y'all. Go watch some of my archives. I'm sure there's only like 1 or 2 of you that have seen all of my shows. Check them out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. So dumb.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
They're coming all over the place. They're coming all over the place.
That is a shit fuck, cringe tour, etc., etc.